upon a Muslim, an adult, someone who has reached the age. He must be sane, meaning if he's crazy, zakat is not wajib on him, but it is still wajib on the money or the assets that he has. Okay? Meaning if zakat is not given, he is not sinful. The crazy person is not sinful. The third or the fourth condition, and this is important, I need you guys to really write these things down because we're going to be using these conditions for the rest of the talk that I have. We're going to be using these conditions. You must be the owner and the possessor of wealth. Person, if a person, his father, let's say his father passed away, or let's say not his father passed away, let's say a person, he is about to give zakah today, but his check is coming tomorrow. Does he include that check that is coming to him tomorrow? Does he include it in his calculation? No. Why? Does he own it? Or if he owns it, he hasn't come into possession. We will come to that as well. Okay? We will come to that. Does that make sense so far? Adil, you want to do me the favor of writing down notes for me, please? Do you have to do something? And the other condition is, he must have own nisab. Nisab, what is nisab? How to write nisab? He must own a threshold, a minimum threshold. And I will tell you what is the minimum threshold. Yes. Okay. And 1 lunar year must pass on this minimum threshold. What does that mean? What that means is, for example, if a person, let's say on Ramadan, day 6th, day 5th, Ramadan 5th, a person, he starts owning the nisab, the minimum threshold. And we're going to define, let's say, 15,000. This is just an example. Once his assets equals $15,000, that day, he must key in that day. Let's say it happens to be Ramadan 5th, 5th of Ramadan. Every single year, this is when he must give the zakat. Even if you receive the money today. Even if you receive it yesterday. Does that make sense? So when you reach the nisab, once you own $15,000, as an example, that's the nisab. In that date, 1 year passes by. If you still owe the nisab, you have to give some zakat. Does that make sense? Okay, it will make more sense, inshallah. Trust me, I've done this 2 weeks ago in Masjid Maryam, and things will become a lot. This is just, I'm setting the stage here. These are the basic principles. So you must own and possess the assets, and you must have a minimum asset known as the nisab. 1 whole year must have passed by and you give the zakat on that. What is the nisab? How much is the nisab? Obviously, we cannot use dollars. Dollar fluctuates. That's not the standard that Islam uh, has used. So the nisab, the threshold that Islam has come up with is gold and silver. Okay, that has always had value throughout time and space. It doesn't matter where you live; it's always there. Okay? My theory is that the reason gold is so high, it's not because the gold itself is so valuable. No, it's because the other currencies are going down. They're losing value. Gold, from the time in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 4 grams of gold would, would, would get you one whole sheep, one dinar, one sheep. Now you calculate how much is it. 20 years ago, how much was 1 gram? How much is it? So the minimum gold, or the nisab of gold is 87.5 grams of gold. This is the minimum threshold. So if you have gold, forget about money. You have gold that is equal to 87.5 grams of gold or its equivalents. What does that mean? Meaning, let's go ahead and someone can please tell me how much is 87.5 grams of gold right now in US dollars. So I was close. About $14,000, right? We're always going to use 14,000 henceforth. If you have all of your assets, and now we'll talk about 5 different categories of assets. If you have all of them, 14, and you calculate them 14,000 or more, you have to give zakat. Now, if you don't have gold, you only have silver, then it's about 612. Others say 595, others say 600, others say 612. We can say 612 grams. Okay, this is for the silver. We're talking at a very basic level. Let's say there's a country they don't deal with gold, they only deal with silver. This is what we use. But what if a person has both gold and silver? What is the nisab to be used? No. The nisab he uses will be that. So, in other words, anyone who has US, fiat currency, gold, silver, business, commodities, assets, cattle, whatever they have, then the nisab, the minimum threshold we use is going to be that of silver, not of gold. Okay? So maybe, for example, why? Maybe someone has, let's say, 10 grams of gold. Someone has 10 grams of gold. And then they have about 500 grams. Let's say not 500. Let's say they have about 100 grams of silver. And they have about $1,000. Does this person give zakat? He has 100 grams of silver. He has 10 grams of gold. And he has $1,000. Does he give the zakat? Yes, he gives zakat. Let's do the calculation. What was the principle I just mentioned? That when you have mixed assets, you always use the silver as the threshold. Yes? How much is this in silver? How much is this in US dollar? How much? Yeah. So it's about 1,700 US dollars. Okay. So you have how much is 10 grams of gold? This is 1,600. Okay. And this, even if you don't include the silver, okay, automatically that's 2,600. But he has to take that out. But you might be wondering, what the justice of Islam? We were just telling us see the whole Islam is based on justice and fairness. How much zakat he will give us? How much? How person's salary is $2,600. How much tax? Much about five. Does that make sense? And we all have mixed assets. We have some gold, some silver, some fiat currency. So what is the minimum threshold we use? Silver. That's the gold. Someone will, if they use the gold, and when they add it all up, does that, does that make sense? This is you have. This is the. I'm saying this as the very bare minimum. Okay? We're gonna build on this. He's gonna build on it. Okay. So if you only possess gold, you use gold nisab. If you possess mixed assets, meaning gold, silver, yeah, silver. See whether you did the threshold in most, I would say 99.9% of all of our cases is 1,700, not 14,000. Bare minimum that you need to have. So if your child, if you've put money in your child's college education fund, you're gonna have to give zakat. Your child, you, okay. So what is the cycle of calculating zakat? Please pay attention to this. The day you own the nisab amount, 1,700, after you deduct all of the liabilities you have, debts that you may have, I talk about debts, you pencil this Islamic date. That's why Ramadan didn't put February. Pencil that, and it doesn't make a difference. No difference if bulk increases or decreases throughout the year. When that date comes, you're going to have to give zakat on your total assets. Let me give you an example. that make sense? Does that make sense now? Doesn't matter what happens to your wealth throughout the year. It is what you calculate on the day that you are giving zakat. That is the number you use in giving. That's same thing with the gold. Maybe on the day you are giving, the gold all of a sudden it goes to 10,000 per ounce. So people are very happy. Or it goes down back to $200 an ounce. What is it? It doesn't go anywhere. Justice, the fairness of Islam is, you just have to go ahead and do the calculation on that day. So it makes no difference whether your wealth increases or decreases during the course of the year. You have to give it whatever you own on that particular day. 1 lunar year, and you must give 2.5%. Now, what are the zakatable assets? This is the lub. This is the core issue that we have. What are zakatable assets? Who can tell me what are zakatable? Yeah. Give me zakatable assets. I want it. There's only five. Okay, gold and silver, cash, livestock. I'm talking about from an Islamic perspective. Everything else we say is going to fall under one. So it's gold and silver, cash, animal and livestock, agricultural produce, and business stuff. Everything else, you tell me 401k, stock market, pension, is going to fall under one of these five. If you repeat it again. What is it? Number one, gold, silver. Okay. Number two, cash. Number three, livestock. So for every 40 sheep, you give one sheep. For every 80 sheep, you give two. Okay. So you give the average. The average. Give the average. If you want to have taqwa, you give the best. You want, but Islam says the average. How much is the average? 50 pounds. 55 pounds. Give the average. The cows, they have different. For our purposes, we're not going to talk about livestock. We go to brother, mashallah, he goes, mashallah, we go to 350-acre ranch. No more? Oh, no, there's no livestock. And then agriculture. So, for example, if it gets, if you are watering your farm with water that you have to give, then it's a different calculation. It's 10%. But if you are depending upon Allah, always we depend upon Allah, but upon the natural resources of the water, like rain, you get 20%. Okay? We're not going to talk about agriculture. And then we're only going to talk about number one, number two, and number five. Business talk. These are the only two things for you. Anything you tell me. I have jewelry. I have bonds. Uh, the question is, what if the wife is having jewelry for the purpose of ornament, beautify her, right? She's wearing it the way she wears clothes. Is there zakat on clothes? Clothes. No. So why are you giving it? And clothes we wear it as a form of beautification. So why are we paying zakat on, not paying zakat on clothes, but we are paying zakat on gold, which is also being used for beautification? Well, because there's specific hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that told us we have to pay zakat. Gold and jewelry. He told the woman, if you pay zakat, she was wearing it for beautification purposes. Yeah. Any gold you have, whether it's jewelry or for the purpose of trading, whatever, you have to pay. Anything that's called gold, you have to give. Yeah, that will property. I told you it will fall under either gold or silver, cash or business stock. It will fall under one of these three. We will talk about the property. Which one? Because depending on your intention, it will fall under either gold or silver, or cash, or business. Depends on your intention. We will come to it. So, for example, if a person buys a property with the intention, let's say he buys three, let's say two. One, he they understood. So let's say a person, he has two houses. Maybe one house he likes to just go visit in Colorado Springs. Goes, and he stays only 1 week in a year. Vacation house. Does he pay zakat on that one? I have one house here in Houston, and I have another house in Colorado Springs. And then I have maybe another house in Maldives. And spend there. Easy. Yeah, I go to that. And these are my houses. Do I pay zakat on the house that I live here in Houston? Huh? Do I pay zakat on the house that I live here in Houston? Do I pay zakat on the house that I live in Colorado Springs? Who says yes? Who says no? You don't pay zakat. What about the one in Maldives? As long as, as long as, as long as your intention is, this is my house. This is your intention or not? Once your intention changes, listen up, sister. Once your intention changes, oh, this house, I'm going to rent it. Okay, all right. Now, we have a different calculation. Once your intention changes from, this is my house and I am going to live in it whenever I come to now a house to now anyone please remove the front part of the fuel. Once your intention, listen up, brothers. Once your intention changes, okay, this house that I used to come and visit once a year, twice, 10 times a year, my vacation home, Once your intention changes to rental, or I think I'm going to sell it, then now it falls under business. It doesn't fall under non-zakatable. I will come to the non-zakatable. You guys are not allowed non-zakatable. You only want to give zakat everything. Okay, then we come to the. So zakatable is what? Gold, silver, cash, and business. This is for our. Of course, there's others which we haven't done. What is non-zakatable? Non-zakatable cars. If a person has a boat, does he give zakat on it? Huh? If a person has an RV, does he give zakat on it? No, he doesn't give zakat on cars, boats. One jet ski, one yacht. He owns a yacht. Does he give zakat? If he owns a yacht, does anyone owns a yacht here? Please make this up. The dealer? No zakat on cars, yacht, helicopter, airplane. Properties on lease. Sorry, property. Any zakat on property? No zakat. You have a property, you're living in it. What about you have a property and you gave it on lease? You give zakat on that? You don't give zakat. No zakat on properties which you have given in lease. So if I own that house in Colorado, let's say my intention changed. You know what? I'm not going to Colorado. It's too cold. So but I don't want to sell it. I want to give it in rent. So I give it in rent because in Colorado, I give zakat on the rent, which is part of my cash, which I calculate at the end of the year because all of it. It just like let's say, you know, I do the calculation and I was giving it out for $1,000 a month. How come? Let's say the property I have is $1,000 a month. Okay? And then at the end of the year, I made $12,000 for the whole year, and my zakat is about to come. Okay, minus what? So I made this much. So for last year, I made $12,000. Okay, let's say I removed about $2,000 in property tax. Another $2,000 in repairs and whatever. How much I have left? But let's say something happened. Maybe someone had a medical emergency. That 8,000 I immediately used for medical bills. And on the date of my zakat, I don't even have that 8,000. Do I give zakat on it? Nothing there. It's very simple. Don't give zakat on the property you have with the you are leasing. You only give zakat money that is coming to you on a monthly basis. Give zakat on that. And if anything is remade on the date of giving zakat. Remember this one. Maybe Allah. But then by January 30th, you have to pay all of this repair, all of this, taxes and everything. You have to give zakat. because all of the liabilities and the taxes and everything owe, you actually don't owe anything. Zakat. Okay. But what if I, I don't want to deal with property. I want to follow. Oh, now this is the kind of tax. Before it was not the tax. Are you guys following? No. What did I just say? Before I said that personal property, really, your house, even that house away for rent on that property, on the income. Remember, now I am sick and tired of the house in Colorado. Okay? Don't want to give zakat, or I don't want to give it in lease. Don't want to hold. Now my attention changed from fixing that property to selling it. Now that's the business I give now. We will talk about it. Before this, even if it takes you 2 years, you have to now calculate it as a business. And my question, just this. Yeah, that's the you are setting it for. Yeah, and then yeah, that's a very simple thing. You will set it as a business. You have $100,000 in debt. Move all of this. Generally speaking, yes. But for individual cases, but generally speaking, just because someone owns a house doesn't mean he is not zakat owns a nice 20,000. That person will fall under a different category, and that is, although he is zakat eligible, but which category is he in? Is he that's not for the product something? Well, you're right, but you just gotta speak. Speaking is someone he has enough to eat. Okay, he doesn't even have enough to eat. So which okay. So now person has a house. Let's say you only have 100. Give it to the person. It's a house with no food. Or you give it to a person who has no house and no food. You give to your regular. It depends on your. It depends on your intention. What's the intention? There you go. So, Habibi, you see, it becomes business. You bought a land with the intention one day I'm one day. Thinking that one day will come after 50 years or the next 50 years, you have to put so far from it. System. Yeah, I will come to it. I will come to it. Stop. Because I'm gonna right now I'm tackling one and then I'm going to do the calculation every week. So what if your intention was to live in the house and then later on your intention changed? Very simple. You don't give zakat. The minute your intention changes, you start giving. How about now? I like you guys think, then you can apply it to 101 different no matter where. Zakat on business. How do we calculate zakat? What is business? Anything that you bought, anything you bought with the intention of selling. Yeah, that's it. So, land. So let's say a person he owns 100 cars. He bought it from one of these auctions. No, 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 no. I want to keep all of this because you guys are going to read it. Let's say a person he bought 40 cars. Okay? He bought all of them Toyota. These cars he bought for $5,000 each. Each. How much is it? 200,000. But let's say the market value for each one is about $10,000. How much is it? 400. Which one does he give zakat on? Market value or amount fee? Huh? He gives it on the market value. Sorry, I couldn't say market value. More specifically, I should say, he should give it on the retail value. The retail. What's the retail? The retail. Some of them will go for 9, some of them will go for 11. That's more than 2,000. Why? Because sell all of your car. If you were to liquidate it, it will decrease just so you can. So what is this on your lot? Give it as a fact. Does that make sense? So don't give it on. Let's say a person he owns furniture. On furniture, do we give zakat? Who has some nice furniture in their house? Nice furniture. You give zakat on it? No, you don't give. The minute you say now, I am going to have a furniture warehouse, and the intention behind It's like property. Remember property? You have a property. You say, I want to live it. It changes to, I want to sell it, and it becomes a business stock. The rule give what is the retail value of that money. You do inventory of your whole stock, and you say, uh, uh, 400. So I bought some, and I wrote a book. I bought my own book. I bought my own book. They gave me for what? I'm going to sell it. By the time it comes from the UK to here, for one book, it's going to cost me, I think, about 50 pounds. If you buy it from me, I bought it in bulk. I bought it in bulk. So now the shipping is going to be, I sell it to someone. Fine. So now, say I bought it for 3,000. I bought 500 books for 3,000. But now I'm selling it for 20. Which one do I give the top? How much I every year I count how many books I have. Sometimes I give it for 15. So which one do I count? Not a big deal. Okay. Does this make sense? Now, what if my intention changes? How looks feasibility? Huh? Yeah. What if someone says feasibility and he is honest? And then later on, when the zakat season comes, no more feasibility. Then you use the best judgment. Was that really to get from the there? Are you playing around? Huh? Uh, yes, Muhammad. Some people who own some animals, people who own animals for livestock, this is what they do. For example, a person and he, huh? Yeah, let's say 40. Yes, so let's say 40. 40 sheep. He owns 40 sheep. He will go and fix it with another one who owns, let's say, 30. They mix it together, and at the end of the day, they only give one sheep in zakat instead of two. Each individual, you would calculate it. Give one sheep, he will give one sheep zakat. So you need to fix it. And after the zakat, I give you back the sheep. I told them. They are trying to play or like, or you know, the who follow the opinion that you don't have to wear, and you don't have to give zakat on clothes or ornaments. Whole year they justify the husbands, and then one of the things of one they wear all their gold and their one sister. What's happened? Mashallah, looking so beautiful. The husband is saying, "Not you, huh?" The wife. zakat because there's no zakat ornament. And who are you joking? Who are you kidding? You understand? That's why the scholar said ornaments or no ornaments. Not every- That makes sense. That's why we zakat on everything. So business assets, are we good with that? Yes? Okay. So now our erase a few things. Let's say a person, today is the day of zakat, okay? Cash, how much you have to pay? Let's say 400,000. 400,000. How much gold should he calculates the gold? The gold comes out to about 50. What else did we say? Asset. We said how he owns 400. He owns 40,000 cars. Okay. So now, are you guys following along? This is important. His business asset is maybe give me a calculator for this person. He has cash $400, gold $50,000, business assets said $400,000. Huh? So now this person, in order for him, to buy those cars, he had to take a loan in Islamic faith. Yes or no? If he bought it with cash, yes. So now, so let's say kuffar bay. No, I understand. Let's say he got it from Allah. Allah with no interest. Allah, he gave me 200. No interest. Allah, Allah gave me $200,000, no interest. Allah, he's my personal banker. He gave it to me and said, we want the imams to be their own independent income. So, no interest. So, minus. And he wants this money by the end of 2026. What if Allah gave me $200,000? Very, very, mashallah. Okay? So Allah gave me $200,000. Right. $200,000. I have debt. And that debt is 5 years. Whenever I am doing my calculation, positive one, when I have asset, don't do any other calculation, only the positive asset. You have I call them. Then you go to the negative assets. Wait, I own $200,000. I like it. Gave it for 5 years. But I mind. What do I do? I do it at the beginning because it's like fix this of my business asset. I really have 200,000. That's not mine. You're gonna make things very. You ask. Does that make sense? What? Why you don't? No, you have to. With Allah, there's. So what did we say? You must own and possess. Yeah. Then you don't get the. Even if you are giving, you give me. Ama. Sorry, I give you. Ama. Here. Exactly. Remember, that's why I said Muslim, adult, say owner and possessor. How is that? Is it possible? I give 1 minute. 1 minute. I own the 100,000, but you. But possessor. I don't possess. Do I give it? Yeah, I give it. This possessor, it means no. Both you are right. It's just you are a possessor meaning, although he possesses it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. It could be anytime, so I'm actually. But if it's owner and possessor, I'm the actually as a loan. He's actually the owner and the possessor. That's the difference. Okay? But you both have everyone. They're still not. But he gave me $50,000. I can give it all the amount to give power. So 50, but he says 50,000 every year. Give back, no problem. Then my liabilities, bad. My okay, in that house, no, there's no zakat, right? But I also, brother, uh, I don't want to think otherwise he's the say that also he gave me $200,000 to buy the house. Okay? Gave me 200,000. So now Allah he gave me $200,000. Make it 300,000. But this he wants me to pay how much? How much does this come up? Huh? 10,000. Every year I have to pay 10,000. Look, stop. No. Come on. This is Allah. Why do I interest free? It's free. Now go to the I'm talking so good about you. Now you're gonna do fair and now that I'm actually how much per year? 10,000. Huh? That's the negative. My credit card bills. Credit card bills I have 40,000. Student bills I have another 40,000. Whatever bill you have at the end, but only that which is due in that year. Oh, the scheme has gold, 200,000 here. I have 300,000. My student debt, I have another 100,000. The guy, if he to go ahead and deduct all of his assets, next thing you know, he is 100,000. He can say to the youth, give me, we give zakat to someone who has worth of gold, he has 100,000. Someone has able to come up with a formula that says I all of this debt. Right? Oh, it's different. That's different. Very different. This account. In that case, he's not got it because they say we're talking about something assets. Gharim, he has no assets. Yes. So there's two types. One is called wadiya. I give him, I give the bank $100. Every time I want to put, who's the owner of it? Another is where the bank gives me $100. We have a contract. Contract says 30 years. Who's the owner? Oh, okay. Yeah. If you take a loan, who's the owner of that loan? The person who took the loan. Yeah? If you took a deposit, who's the person who gave the deposit. Let me write it down so that way people can understand what I'm saying more clear. Let's say a loan. Who's the owner of that? Give loan to be owner of that money. Let's say the loan is 100,000. Who owns that money? B. E. Who must give zakat? Oh, yes. I'll tell you. Yeah. B will, he has, okay, let's say the only asset B has is that 100,000. Yes? You guys are with? That's 100,000. So he's doing calculation, but for that his liability is say, let's say, how much? 10,000. Minus 10,000. Zakat. A, who actually owns them? Huh? Yeah, A. Let's not use bank. We'll use A and B. A, when he's doing A, Ala, when he's doing all of his, how much cash he has. Cash is the cash that you come to not $400. You have to calculate that as well. That makes sense? It's your money. Except in the case in which it's a bad loan. What's the bad loan? You lost hope ever. you make their bank may not go both. Otherwise, what's going to happen? They said, possess. You will say, well, yes, it's not mine. Do not. What happened? All of the four people will never have because we go people are going to higher. Yes. So A must give it, B must give it, but B will give it less because of the liability that he owns for that year. If it's a lot. Now the liability, that's 100,000. The deal is if I'll pay you. Let's say I am B, okay? Ala gave me 100,000 and he gave me 100,000 a month ago. Today I'm giving zakat. Then I'll minus the 100,000. Okay? No, no. It's on the whole 100,000. It's on the whole. It's not on the 10,000. No, it's on the whole 100,000 because that is he owns that money. Is and he expects the money. You don't have to say, "Oh, I'm giving it," and I have to pay. Anything, anything you are. Look, brother, I have 10 apiece in my house. Okay, the minute you and I have 10, this is good. This is business asset. This is business asset. My intention is to sell it. My intention is to use it for the person. Anything. So I have this. I have this for my personal use. But once I start reading, you want to I mention a keyword. We, yes. What's قرض حسنة؟ علاقة بقرض حسنة. What does قرض حسنة mean? It means no. قرض حسنة means سلم pay you back. Yeah, it happened to me. It happened to me. It happened to me, brothers. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I gave someone. I gave someone about dollars. Listen up. Someone $50 when I was a student. Knowledge. I only had limited. I wanted money to come so that way I could worry about her for anything. So I get someone $50 card and go well. Make with her. So I gave 50,000. And every month he used to give me from that 50,000 few $100 as a income instead of waiting at the end of the year, projected at the end of the year. This is how much I will do. It was good for me, and he agreed. All of a sudden, it went down. He lost it. brother, that 50,000, because you are a student of knowledge, I'm going to give you 50,000. Good brother, do that. When you say, give me money, next year, and I gave zakat. Second year, I'm giving zakat. Third year, I'm giving zakat. After that, I lost hope. Until now, I'm 3 years after that, lost hope. We're not dealing with the IRS, we're dealing with Allah. That is justice for you. Or rather, not. If you would be linked in another account, because you gave that with intention, that is not. That's good. So, I was hoping that 50,000. What I gave the poor people, you know, the fact that I gave, I mean, I am someone who am well off to the point where the sob, where I lost that 50,000, and now people are giving. See, the fact I can tell you something, but look at it from a bigger macro level, not at this micro level where I lost the 50,000. Get it from a macro. Imagine if you are that means you are well off. Even $50, you are well off. $1,000, you're well off before it's first. Okay. Yeah, your business assets. I don't know if that is true, but let's say it is true, then you only give out these two. If you're active, then okay. The question that he asked is a very good question. Let's say a person he is making things with his hand. It's not the wrong thing. Let's say this. Yeah, finish. Those raw materials cost a percentage of what he's selling that finished good. Which one does he pay the cost? Let's he's doing his calculation. Somehow, miraculously, not miraculously, the qadr of Allah, he sold all of his business assets. Only thing he has is the raw material. Huh? Retail price minus the cost of the food. It doesn't cost anything. Okay, that's one thing. Another, what money you invested to the market. Have to have it to be very. Some things I take a very firm opinion on. But this one, I'm like, this thing, is that make sense? Does that make sense? Which one? Which one? This one? Oh, so yeah. So let's say a person, let's say uh, A gave to B. This is important, sisters. Let's say A gave to B. Okay, B gave him first year. He declared bankruptcy and he didn't pay him anymore. He's still paying the car 1 year, or let's say my example. That guy, $50,000. First year I paid, second year I paid, the third year I paid. So, finally had $50,000. What's your bank account? I will transfer that. And I get 50,000. What? The last time I didn't pay, I had to pay the car all for 50,000. In 10 years, I didn't pay on the $50,000. I also owed $50,000. Now I just have to back pay it. That was my money all along. That's that's the opinion I follow. That's the opinion I follow. The other opinion, you just pay the fact that I mean $50,000 still have 1250, 12,000. Alhamdulillah, I rather give 12,550 than 12,500. I rather give 12,500 just I can get back my $50. $50,000. Yes or no? Which one? Yeah. Worth $50,000. You have two options. Option number one, first, 1,000, but you have to back off the car. It's 12,000. So the net is 37,500. Or never get your 50. Obviously, you know, what is the better option? You and the fourth. Which one? First one. The first. So that's why that person called. You never know. I just need one. I tell you the first story. I was in Egypt, and I was going to it was Alexandria, city of South. And these minibuses get in off as fast as they're moving. Anyway, I went to 8 and he had a little daughter who remember money and I said, come to recite something. He started reciting the Quran. whole face. Other people, I said, what? Anyway, this guy, he found my wife. How did he find it? You know, when I jumped out of the microbus, jumped up, some old lady, out of all the numbers, I don't know if he found the number, the, no, so she gave it to another microbus. And then that microbus guy, he looked at it. One to 10 million. You know, I have a higher chance of becoming the next president. For my passport to be found. City of 10 million. Other people be found. Five or some guy I would barely know who said someone called him that he wanted to learn to do. They do for me. They do. Oh, Allah. Only one. Only. It is as if open the seven heavens for that for your God. That I have trust how you expect to know the reward from Allah. That's how we are. I know Allah. No one about it. It was my 1000%. And I found Allah. Allah, uh, not the job, the job. In the back, Allah protect me, and then you have the ring. How you have what are some of these things? Huh? You know these not cameras, not cameras, but these systems. You walk in, huh? Yeah, AD. Have blink, blink. So what does it mean? Ritual. But wallah. And then, like, you are driving a car. How are you driving? Why do you have? You don't have to pray. Read. Wallah. Then you finish Surah Yasin in your car because you know the only insurance you have is Allah. So you put 100. Sure. Say, this is a huge. What? This is what the Prophet said. You know, I'm not afraid that the street that we will be poor, but I'm afraid that we will open. Allah, do you think there's anything that you say al-Razzaq? Because you go to the HEB, you know when you go to the HEB, first thing to text me. This is how I want it. Oh. You know HEB, Mansa Musa, the richest guy in the world, the richest king of the rich Fir'aun. Go on and on and on. But this is the cut. Okay. Any other questions? 401k, you know, I feel like maybe. Okay. Very good. Let's talk 401k. 401k, how do you calculate the 401k? How is either going to be cash, gold, or business asset? Which one do you count? Yeah, it's going to be like business. It's business assets because fall under like stock. To fall under stock. And what happens to business assets? So we get this, right? Cash usually is 400, 400. 400, 400 bucks. The 401k today with 1,000, depends on how good the stock is. Yes or no? It will fall under business assets. It's your day of Zakat. You look at your 401k, your Roth IRA, your traditional IRA. You look at Roth IRA, $7,500 is put into it every single year. So you have already paid tax. Okay? You have the Roth IRA. What? You have, so let's say for 10 years you've been putting 70%. So that's about 75,000. You look at that. That you count as cash. Yeah? But then the let's say it made over 10 years, it will show you how much you paid, right? Let's say it was about 25,000. So this one will go to the cash because you can pull it out the 75,000, no tax penalty. No tax penalty. This one, this one, so how can you calculate that? Which category? So this one, 25,000. If you to pull it out, you will be taxed 5 to 4%. So, but you don't want to put it out. You want to do what is the percentage? For money, you have to give the cut, but you don't want to put it out just so you can get the cut. That is about 60%. I should say, how much? 60%. How much is 65%? What's 65% of 25,000? What's 60%? Huh? 15. So it's 15,000. So you will give, meaning if you were to put that and the IRS tax you 40%, then you get 15,000. That makes sense now? So you will take some and plug it into your. First of all, before that, does that make sense? Make sense? What? Now, traditional IRA would mean that you put in money. It's not gonna split up like this. It's gonna take the whole thing. Those doesn't make sense. Like you have the what? No, sister, I already mentioned on the first day. When did you receive the nisab? When did you meet the threshold? You key in that day for the rest. Yeah, yeah. Your life you all given on that day. Today I give my tomorrow I receive refund. Don't give me the time because I don't have possession of it. Yeah. So you have a stake in a business. Do you know the value of it? You do the yeah. You can't do it, but it's yours. If you give it, this is like unlike those pensions that you can never touch. It's not sure 100% maybe you guys for it. You give it once you retire. Once you receive it, then you backdate all of it. So you can apply the same principle. You have to back. Factories and the machineries, yeah, you don't give zakat. It's only the inventory. Yes. So I have a factory making stuff with the stuff. the machines that don't give. Any other questions? Yes. What do you mean? Only right now, خلاص. Pick one day, the best date. Let's say Ramadan first, for the rest of the year. Thank you very much. Allah bless you. Tell the goal. Tell the goal, tell your husband, be nice to him. He asks, the question is, let's say he has gold, but he doesn't have the cash to pay. A woman has gold, and she doesn't want to sell the gold, have to pay the equivalent. So let's say a woman, she has 100 grams of gold. Okay, how much is the zakat on this one? 2.5. To give 2.5 grams of gold. Yes or no? It has to give 2 grams of gold. What does that mean? You probably have to do the necklace. All right, let me just give 2.5 grams of gold. That's how they used to do it. That's 2.5 grams of gold from it. Give it to the poor. You let the poor figure out what they want. They can buy whatever. But now, are we going to do that? No. So what do? We'll take this 2.5, look at the gold per gram, and let's say it is 160. Whatever that amount is in dollars. Huh? No, be nice to you. Take it from your husband. Be nice to your husband. That pays off. $500. Yeah. She has to give it, not you. If you don't give it, you're not. Okay, very good. Yeah. No, you pay on the whole thing, just to make it easier. Otherwise, I was going to say you pay it on withdraw and then wait until when you can pull it up. That time that um, no. Huh? You can deduct taxes from your zakat. Oh yeah. When I get zakat, tax deducted. Yeah. So I declare my tax. Long answer.